meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River is hereby called to order. Please stand for a salute to the flag. This reorganization meeting is convened in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing a notice in the Asbury Park Press on Tuesday, January 1st, 2018, and also forwarding same to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBM News, December 27, 2018, and thereafter posting same on the Town Hall Bulletin Board for such notices, and filing same with the Township Clerk pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on December 26, 2018. The notice was also posted on the Township webpage. Roll call. Councilman Hill?
Here.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Here.
Councilman Kubel?
Present.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Present.
Councilman Roderick?
Here.
Councilman Turnbach?
Here.
Councilman Whitman?
Here.
The first order of business on the agenda, number 6, is the election and oath of office of the 2019 Council President.
I nominate George Whitman for Council President.
I'll second that.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilman Roderick to nominate Councilman Whitman as President of the Council for 2019. Are there any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call vote as to Councilman Whitman to be Council President. Councilman Hill?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilman Whitman?
Yes.
Councilman Whitman is now our 2019 Council President, and I will now administer the oath of office to him.
Okay. Well, I just have 2018. Doesn't have the- Oh, really? Got it. I was looking at the bottom.
He's good. Oh, yeah. Get that baby in a picture.
I, George Whitman, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the Township Council President, according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Did we swear the right George in?
We forgot to do the invocation. It's not virtual.
I will now call up Reverend Yetterberg of the Presbyterian Church of Toms River, my mistake, to give us a beautiful invocation to get started.
Everybody stand, please.
It's all right. It's not your fault that nobody can pronounce my name. So, well, let us pray. Lord God, as we are here on this reorganization meeting at the beginning of a new year, we reflect back. We reflect back with gratitude. Gratitude at how far you have brought us. We're grateful. Grateful for this town that we live in, this state and this country. Grateful for the security that you have given. Grateful for the relationships. Grateful for all of the blessings that are in our lives. And even as we look back, we also look forward. We look forward into a new year, a new cycle of this council, with a new vision and a new hope. Lord, we ask that you would renew it. Renew this council with your wisdom. Renew it with your joy to serve. Renew it with a passion for the people. Renew it with an ear for discerning and hearts that are open to the movement and the needs of this community. God, we all together long for a community that thrives, where all the people flourish, where all of the gifts and abilities can be put to use in productive and prosperous ways. We ask that you would give the wisdom needed as this council seeks a path forward. We ask for a spirit of collegiality, for an openness to conversation, for the ability to hear and to speak what is true. God, we ultimately have a hope that this can be a community that is for all the people. God, it's a community that there will be flourishing health, flourishing relationships, flourishing economy, flourishing opportunity, that it would be a place filled with joy for living, a pride for community, a care for neighbors, and through it all, a peace that we look and we see is come from you. So we ask all of this, trusting that you are good, you are faithful, and you will lead. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Allison, we're going to go right to the election of Vice President, and then we'll go back to the comments for Council President and Vice President.
Okay. Next, we'll have the election and oath of office of 2019 Council Vice President.
I nominate Mo Hill.
Would second that.
Motion was made by Council President Whitman, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Hill.
Yes.
Councilwoman Urick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
The oath of office will now be administered to Council Vice President Hill.
Before I start, I'd like to recognize a couple dignitaries in the room. So we have our recently elected chairwoman of the Freeholder Board, Chairholder Director of the Freeholder Board, Ms. Ginny Haynes. We also have our Chief of Police, Mitch Little. And I think that's all I can see anyway. So good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the council for voting for me for the council president for 2019. It is truly an honor to be selected. I'd also like to congratulate Mo Hill on his appointment to Council Vice President for 2019. On a personal note, my wife and I have become grandparents in 2018. I'd like to recognize the new mommy, my daughter-in-law, Carrie, and our adorable grandson, George Edward Whitman IV, believe it or not, and who's almost 5 months old. My son George had a previous commitment for work and wasn't able to attend, unfortunately. In addition, our daughter Jennifer and her son and her husband Sebastian had a baby boy as well, who's 5 months old, and his name 1 month old rather, and his name is Elijah Pierre. And they live in Las Vegas, so unfortunately they wouldn't be able to come tonight for obvious reasons. I'd like to have a special note and thanks to the mayor, the council members, including our 2018 council president, Brian Cabell, who did an outstanding job in my opinion, and all the township employees for their dedication and hard work this past year. They're the unsung heroes they do a lot of great work, but it goes unnoticed, and I think they need to be recognized. I'd also like to thank Don Guardian, our business administrator, and Sharon Smith, our CFO, for stepping into very difficult jobs. Their performance was outstanding, and in my opinion, they kept the town on the right course. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize and mention our police department, who protect us each and every day. Chief Little and his team make sure that we have an innovative, committed, and well-trained staff that is second to none. This town is fortunate also to have a volunteer fire department and first aid squads that help us to provide premium services at a very affordable price. So thank you for all the volunteers for supporting this town. Some of the things I think we need to look at going forward in 2019 are open space. The township has purchased a number of properties in 2018. I think we're going to continue to look for additional properties going forward. As an example, we partnered with the county and they purchased 2 properties on North Bay Avenue that's going to be incorporated into hopefully part of our bicycle path that we received the grant for. They also helped us with farmland preservation for a lot, I believe, on New Hampshire Avenue. The township itself has purchased 2 lots on large tracts on Route 9. And we're also have a farm that, it's a horse farm that we're going to use for recreation in the near future that's also in the north end of town. So I think I would like to see the town continue to purchase open space and go for additional properties that become available for recreation. And we'll use that through our special open space fund as well as through bonding. Another thing I think is going to be important for this year is the township should pursue a goal of 0 tax increase for 2019. And this will require us to look at all operations with a goal towards balancing operations that are not self-supporting. In some instances, it might require to make hard choices on how some of the utilities, such as the golf course and the ice rink, are operated in the future. As far as the bicycle path, I mentioned that earlier. That bicycle path is something that's going to connect, hopefully, with the county bicycle path that ends just north of the Toms River. We'll continue along the Toms River and eventually connect up through the lots I mentioned by the power lines on North Bay Avenue and eventually to Ocean County College. So I think that's something we have to work out all the details of, but I think it's going to be important for us as we utilize this grant for $1 million to plan and then hopefully execute the bicycle path. And then lastly, as a goal, the township made a major step with the purchase of the Red Carpet Inn to improve the downtown. So I'm very anxious, and I know all the other council members are anxious to see that building demolished and the area cleaned up, because we're getting a lot of interest in the downtown, and I think that's going to be the linchpin for the start of development and redevelopment of downtown Toms River. So this council purchased the building, and by the time we got through all the various processes, and now we're going through asbestos remediation, and that's not an easy task. And once we can get through all that and the building is safe to demolish, we're going to demolish the building, and that I think will start to really attract businesses and property owners to come back to the downtown. So in closing, I think that you can see we have a very big agenda, and it's very ambitious, and I think that the council's up for the challenge. So I know it's going to be a challenge, but we're up for it. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. And as Thomas Jefferson said, I hope our wisdom will grow with our power and teach us that the less we use our power, the greater it will be. Thank you.
Council President, thank you. I'd like to thank Brian for his leadership in the last council year, and also for George as the vice president. George is stepping up as president this year. Congratulations, George. I want to thank the council for nominating me and selecting me as vice president. I see a number of challenges in the future. I'd like to thank our township employees. They've done a wonderful job. George mentioned a lot of them. I'm the mayor, business administrator, Sharon Smith, the CFO, who stepped in after Chris Manolio retired and has done a stellar job. Dave Roberts with our planning department and all the department heads. Joanne Benson, who's here with all that she does with the senior and youth and the animal shelter. Also Chief Little and our police department. And as George mentioned, our volunteers who, if we had a paid fire department, would be cost prohibitive in this town. And they responded to a fire in the Silverton section. It was an arson, and several of the firefighters were injured. And these are volunteer firemen that have other jobs during the day and respond to these calls. And it was, thankfully, none of them were seriously injured. But again, we thank them for their service, for all the volunteers. Going forward, I see several challenges. One is going to be school funding issues this year. As you know, we lost a little over $2 million in funding. It's projected to be $5 million this year. At some point in time, we have to get some reasonable form of school funding. I find it ridiculous that the cities receive 85% of their school funding from state aid, and a district like Toms River, which is larger in many cases than the Trentons and the Camdens, receive only 27% of the funding. In addition, the inner cities, it's costing $30,000 to $35,000 a student for education. Graduation rates, you're certainly not getting a bang for your buck. The graduation rates are 60, 70%. Toms River, meanwhile, educates children for $16,000 a student, and the graduation rate is 92%. So it's time to come up with a reasonable funding formula. I don't care if you do it per student, but it should be fair and equitable across the line and not favoring one area over another. We've got to come to grips with that, and that's a state issue. And we're going to be working hard with the Board of Education to make sure that, and our legislators, that we get a fair and equitable funding. There's a lot of positive things happening. One is 166 and 37. Hopefully that'll be paved this year. I did talk personally to the NJDOT commissioner at a meeting I had recently. She promised that it would have the final primary coat done by mid-January. They'll remove the barriers. They're going to come back in the spring and do the barrier down the center and the final paving. So hopefully the longest quarter-mile project, road project in history will be completed. I'm also, as George mentioned, I think this project for downtown, the redevelopment area has been jump-started with the purchase of the motel. We also received a grant for Herflicker Boulevard for $5 million, and that should make Herflicker Boulevard one-way to the east and West Water one-way to the west, and that'll take care of a lot of the traffic congestion down there. We're also looking at a redevelopment area out in Caudina. We've had very positive feedback from the VA that they are interested in locating there. That's going to be a facility that's roughly going to be 3 times the size of the facility they currently have in Brick. That's going to mean more jobs for Toms River. It's also going to be, I think, a bonus for the veterans, because located right next door to this parcel are the Ocean County Veteran Service Bureau, so you can do one-stop shopping for the veterans. There's also county services there. There's a bank across the street. You're close to the mall. And with the purchase of that property and the redevelopment, we've had interest from the post office to move out there. Right now, their location is in a fairly inaccessible spot downtown. They're also at the southern terminus of Toms River. So to deliver mail in the northern section of town, takes their trucks 35 to 40 minutes to get out there. Located at Caudina and Hooper, they're going to be more centrally located in town, which will help the mail delivery system. So that's a positive. Also, as George mentioned, we're going to be working with the county on a number of things. Purchases of open space. We're also working with the county. We've had a request from the Pleasant Plains Volunteer Fire Department for repaving of Sunset Road. I talked to the to Freeholder Little, and that is on the schedule to be repaved this spring. The trucks, as you know, when they leave the Pleasant Plains Firehouse, if they're going to the northern section of town, very often they exit, go out to Sunset Road, out to Whitesville Road to respond to calls. So that's a big plus. That road's in terrible shape, and it's been damaging the vehicles, the shocks on the vehicles. So those are positive things. We're also, like I said, working in a number of areas with open space. We've got to be a little innovative. The proposal we had for an increase in the open space tax was defeated, but with willing buyers and with partners, we can make that happen. So I look forward to a very positive year. We've got some challenges, but I think there's a lot on the horizon. I think the two redevelopment areas will go hand in glove, but once the post office moves out of town, that opens up a very wide area on West Water Street, and I think that will jumpstart this project. So there's a lot to look forward to, but there's also a lot of work, and this council, I think, is up to it. We've got a lot of good people up here that are dedicated to the town, and I look forward to a very successful year and working with all the council and the mayor and the administration. So thank you very much, and on with the meeting.
Next, item number 8. Is the approval of minutes from regular meeting of December 26, 2018.
Move the minutes into the record.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Abstain, I was absent for that meeting.
Item 9 is a resolution scheduling regular meetings of the Township Council for 2019.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 10 is a resolution establishing rules and regulations for governing body meetings.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 11 is a resolution establishing interest on delinquent taxes.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 12 is a resolution authorizing the tax assessor, the deputy tax assessor, and municipal attorney as agent in filing petition of appeals and rollback complaint forms.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 13 is a resolution appointing Carl DeLeo as tax search officer for the Township of Toms River.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 14 is a resolution consenting to the appointment of R. Gary Mundy Esquire, Assistant Township Attorney, to serve as Rent Leveling Board Attorney.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
15 is a resolution consenting to the appointment of Kenneth B. Fitzsimmons Esquire to serve as Special Municipal Prosecutor, R. Gary Mundy Esquire as First Alternate Special Municipal Prosecutor, and Anthony Merlino Esquire to serve as Second Alternate Municipal Prosecutor.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 16 is a resolution designating official depositories.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
17 is a resolution authorizing the mayor, the chief financial officer, Sharon E. Smith, and the township clerk, Allison Carlisle, to sign checks for all sums of money to be paid by the township of Toms River.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 18 is a resolution appointing members of the Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 19 is a resolution appointing members of the Board of Health.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
I abstain, I have a conflict.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 20 is a resolution appointing members of the Township of Toms River Municipal Alliance.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Resolution appointing planning board members.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 22 is a resolution appointing members of the Veterans Commission.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 23, a resolution appointing school crossing guards.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 24 is a resolution appointing parking violations officers.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Number 25, resolution designating the Asbury Park Press, Star Ledger, and the Press of Atlantic City as the official newspapers.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick,
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 26 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract for codification services for municipal code revisions for calendar year 2019 to General Code LLC.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka,
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel,
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 27 is a resolution for establishing the auxiliary police.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 28 is a resolution appointing Class 1 officers, both jail and seasonal, for 2019.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 29 is a resolution appointing Gail Catania, QPA, Purchasing Agent, as the Township of Toms River's Public Agency Compliance Officer, PACO Officer, for contract compliance and equal employment opportunity in public contracting.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 30 is being removed until after executive session. Item number 31 is a resolution appointing the police chaplains.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 32 is a resolution establishing the temporary budget.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 33 is a resolution regarding the reestablishment of petty cash funds.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 34 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to cancel any property tax refund or delinquency of less than $10.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 35 is a resolution amending the cash management plan of the Township of Toms River effective January 1, 2019 to December 31, 2019.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 36 is a resolution extending the term of certain contracts exempt from public bidding to February 26, 2019.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Number 37 is resolution appointing Alice Scivoletti as acting township clerk.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item number 38 is a resolution appointing parking authority members.
Move the resolution? Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
I'll abstain, I have a conflict.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Item number 39 is a resolution reappointing and establishing tenure for Carl DeLeo, tax collector of Toms River Township.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Item number 40 is an ordinance of the Township Council, Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, authorizing, 1, a change in use pursuant to New Jersey NJAC 7:36-25.6 for a section of Bailey Park, Block 573, Lots 1, 3, and 4, for the purposes of constructing a recreational facility for special needs and disabled children and adults, and 2, a lease project agreement and subrecipient agreement with Toms River Field of Dreams LLC to lease subject premises and construct and operate the proposed facility.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel?
No, it wasn't Councilwoman Maruka, it was Councilwoman Yurick.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Item number 41 is a resolution appointing J. Mark Mutter as local historian.
Move the resolution.
Second.
I had to think about this one for a while.
I thought he was the local.
Motion,
We're just
not official.
putting it in writing.
This makes it official.
motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Hill. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Hill?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill? Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Item number 42 is an ordinance of the Township Council, Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Schedule H confidential employees of Section 147-1 salary ranges of Chapter 147 salaries and compensation of the Township Code to establish the position and salary of property relocation coordinator. First
Move
reading.
the ordinance on first.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next is the consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be considered separately, but we only have one item tonight. It's A, resolution of the Township Council, Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, authorizing the mayor to execute and the township clerk to attest to a shared services agreement between the Township of Toms River and the Toms River Township Boards of Fire Commissioners, District 1 and 2, for leasing of space in the municipal building, commencing retroactive to January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2023.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
I'll abstain, I have a conflict.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next, we have the bills.
Move the bills.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel.
Abstain to PO 18-05711 payable to the Board of Fire Commissioners, yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Abstain to PO 18-00284 payable to Dastty McGuckin, Attorney at Law, and PO 18-07392 payable to NJMVC. I have a conflict, yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstain to PO 19-00001, Township of Toms River, as it pertains to the recreation salary, and yes to the balance.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes, with the following abstentions, PO 19-00001, payable to St. Joseph's Church, the school, and the magistrates. PO 18-00284, payable to Dasty McGuckin, attorneys at law. And PO 18-07427, payable to St. Joseph's School. I am a local attorney in town. I have a conflict with Dasty McGuckin and the magistrates, and my children attend St. Joseph's School. Yes to the balance.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes, with the following abstentions, 19-00033, payable to Toms River Board of Education. 18-07153, again payable to Toms River Board of Education. 18-07427, only as it pertains to St. Luke's and Toms River Schools. And 19-00001, again, only as it pertains to Toms River Schools and St. Luke's. I'm a parishioner at St. Luke's. Yes to the balance on that PO.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next, we have elected officials' comments.
Okay, we'll start with the mayor, Mayor Kelleher.
Thank you. I just want to take a minute to congratulate you, Council, on your appointment as Council President, and Councilman Hill on his appointment as Vice President. I look forward really to working with both of you and the rest of the council for this coming year on all of the different projects that you've outlined in your comments to the public. So I look forward to doing that as we move forward.
Thank you. Councilman Hill, Council Vice President Hill.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and also want to recognize Ginny Haynes, who's the director of the Freeholders this year. We go back a long way. We went to school together at Lakewood High School, so she was a cheerleader. I played football, but I was a lineman, so they never cheered for me. They only cheered for the backs.
But he
That's
cheered
all
for
I
the
have.
team. Councilman Roderick.
I just wanted to congratulate Council President Whitman, Council Vice President Hill, and wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Councilman Kubel.
I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year and congratulate Council President Whitman and Council Vice President Hill, and assure you that I will be here to support you in all of the endeavors that you have listed. And I appreciate your kind words during your comments about serving as Council President. When I was chosen to do that, I was very uncertain. It was the first year we had 3 new council people, and I was very uncertain, but I can tell you that I grew to know them very well, and I appreciate all of your support in that position.
Thank you. Councilman Urick.
Yes, I just wanted to just mention one great thing that has been going on this year, and that is our Code Blue program. And just to give you some stats, so it's not just a matter of getting people out of the cold, it's getting them back into housing and society. So we had 44 individuals that were assisted, 75 volunteers served them for 109 bed nights so far this season, just from 2018. And 7 people were processed through CRAC, which is a housing and eligibility benefits locator. 3 individuals were enrolled in the PATH program. 2 individuals were enrolled in the IOP, which is an outpatient rehab program for addiction. 2 people received temporary housing with social service. 2 people obtained gainful employment. 2 people obtained permanent housing, and 1 received help from Adult Protective Services. So that's what this program is about, is getting people off the streets and back into housing and back into a productive member of society. And a lot of them are actually employed already and are productive members, but getting them into a home. So I'd also like to thank the council for scheduling this meeting for when I was available. It was originally proposed for yesterday, and I was not available, and they worked with me on that. I would like to congratulate Council President Whitman and Council Vice President Hill. I look forward to working with you both, as we have this year. And I really would love to congratulate Freeholder Haynes in being the 2nd woman to lead the Freeholders in history of Ocean County, so congratulations. And I just want to say that we as a council have been able to accomplish what few other political bodies have. Through the relationships we've cultivated over the past year, we've had conversations and compromise, and for the most part, bipartisan consensus. I look forward to the amicable working relationships continuing in 2019. Councilman Turnback and I, as the Democratic representatives, have consistently reached across the aisle, as have our Republican colleagues. And we will continue to do so, and we hope that our Republican colleagues will continue to increasingly include us in the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Maruka?
Thank you, Council President. First, I'd like to thank Brian for serving as Council President in 2018, and George for you serving as our Council Vice President. Brian said when we reorged last year, we had no idea of what year we were going to have in front of us, and I got to say, it was a productive year in 2018 through this council, and I know this council working together can do many good things for Toms River. I'd also like to congratulate Freeholder Haynes, and Mo just pointed out she was a cheerleader for Lakewood. Well, now she's a head cheerleader for Ocean County. Go Jitty. I will look forward to working with the mayor and our administrator, Don Guardian, who really hit the ground running in his first year as our administrator. Don has brought a new perspective to Toms River and has forged relationships over the years with various government entities that have really benefited our town with his knowledge, his wisdom, and his, as he used to say in the olden days, his Rolodex. As 2019 begins, we're entering the 7th year of rebuilding our neighborhoods and communities along the Ocean Bay and River. We're still rebuilding. Everybody is still not home. But in the process of those 7 years, I really would like to thank all of our department heads and our staff that helped to get people back into their homes, that have helped to get our replenishment project moving, and that have really gone above and beyond for the residents of this town over the past 7 years, and I know you'll continue that. And I'm gonna call out your names: Dave Roberts with Planning, Craig Ambrosio with Buildings and Ground and Code Enforcement, Joanne Benson with our Senior Services, our Youth Services, Lou Amoruso and Anthony Bagnola with Public Works. And I'd probably say last but not least, Gail also with our purchasing department, but last but not least, it would be Bob Chinkalian and Wendy Burkhead. With our engineering department, they've been on speed dial morning, noon, and night. I'd be in a homeowners meeting and I'm texting Bob, what's the latest update on that? When Bob's on vacation, Wendy has always been there to provide me with updates. And I really appreciate all that you have done. We do have some issues facing our town. Councilman Hill touched on them, and some of the other members have, the lack of school funding for our schools. Even though the school funding doesn't come before this body, it is a big issue for Toms River. And everybody's going to have to do our part to see how we can fight to get more money for our township and our schools here in the Toms River Regional School District. Rebuilding our rateable base. Like I said, all the people are still not home. Those houses are still not up. There's vacant properties around. Once they're rebuilt, that's going to put those ratables back onto our tax rolls. Balancing a municipal budget without compromising the services to our residents. We've been able to have a 0% tax increase for the past 2 years. I know this council, along with the mayor and the administrator, will work as hard as we can to get that accomplished, or as close as we can. That's one of our goals. Pursuing our acquisitions of open space. That is something that this council has done since day one, since I've been on this council since 2004, and that has been a priority, and it still is a priority for this council. The downtown rehabilitation project and the $5.6 million we received in DOT grants are going to go a long way in helping that. And another thing is keeping our police department at sufficient staffing levels by replenishing the department as retirements occur. I didn't see him sitting in the back, but I know our chief is there. Mitch, thank you so much for all that you do for our department and our residents. As usually I lead with beach replenishment, but I'm going to close with beach replenishment this year. First time, I don't know how many years. As the beach replenishment project now enters the final phase, no more pumping. All the sand has been pumped on Ortley and North Beach. I never thought I'd be able to say that, but we can finally say that. The final phase of the walkovers and the dune grass planning for the stabilization of our dunes are the last pieces to the puzzle. And I kind of look at it as a house. You know how you build that house, you get 95% done, and there's still that 5%, but that 5% is really, really important to make everything function. And that's where we're at with our walkovers, mats, and our dune grass. But the dune grass is being planted in Ortley right now. This will be the first summer for our newly constructed beaches. We have constructed a larger welcome mat for our residents and our visitors to our beaches, and I think that's going to add to our economy over on the beach and also here in Ocean County. And also pursuing the acquisition of the Surf Club property, hopefully will be a highlight we have in 2019. I pledge to work with our mayor, our administrator, and the council to see these projects and many more come to fruition. I just want to wish everyone a blessed, safe, healthy, and prosperous new year.
Thank you. Councilman Turnback?
Thank you. I want to thank Council President Cabell for his leadership over the last year, for his friendship, his honesty, and his really his bipartisan way. He, for someone that was new on the council, from day one, was always up front with me, always honest with me, and really taught me a lot about what it is to serve on this council, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean it, and I want to thank you because you're a large reason for that. I want to congratulate Council President Whitman and Council Vice President Hill, and echo the same comments. We have an excellent working relationship, and I look to continue that in the new year with all of you. Yep. I want to echo Council President Whitman and Council Vice President Hill's comments about the red carpet inn. 2019 to me is going to be the year of downtown Toms River, and it's going to start with the demolition of the red carpet inn. And Chief Little was kind enough to get me some stats on what's been going on at the red carpet inn from prior to the red carpet being purchased by Toms River and since. And since Toms River has purchased the red carpet inn, there's been a 50% decrease in burglaries in the downtown, 56% decrease in narcotic-related arrests and offenses, 92% decrease in disorderly conduct incidents and arrests, 40% decrease in assault-related arrests. So the proof is in the numbers.
Yeah.
With the purchase of that red carpet, we've already made our downtown a much safer place. The business owners are indicating that to us, and we're only going to move forward. We've hired a redevelopment attorney. We're going to set up a meeting with all the business owners and that redevelopment attorney, so the redevelopment attorney can hear from the business owners. At that meeting, we're going to encourage every business owner in the downtown to join Operation Watchdog, which is being run by the Toms River Police, so that we have a very safe and productive downtown. I really look forward to this year, and I thank you. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. I have no additional comments. This is a portion of the meeting open for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing none, move to close public comment, move to executive session.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances to discuss matters requiring confidentiality and/or of a privileged nature. And whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Toms River in the County of Ocean and State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council will now conduct a private executive session. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed and/or acted upon is as follows. Matters of personnel. The following specific items to be discussed and/or acted upon are as follows. Council Secretary, position of the Clerk's Office. It is anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Council that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. Vote to go into executive session made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Roderick, with all in favor at 5:57 p.m.
All right. Good seeing you, sir. Same here. Happy New Year. You too. Take care.
supposed to be here to give them to Annie. Terrence, don't forget me, man. About the lunch, bro. Can't do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that's different because you taught high school.
Seven. I can hardly see the clock. What does that say? 37? Thank you.
Motion to go in open session. Second.
All in favor
Motion to approve the closed session minutes.
of December 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
And do I have a motion
Can you do just a roll call on this?
on the minutes?
Yeah.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Next, we have the resolution to appoint Mark, I'm sorry, I don't have the resolution, my fingertips.
Dykoff.
Dykoff.
With a 90-day probationary period to start at $58,000 for the first 90 days, and then providing he,
Well, then at that point, after 90 days, successful completion of probationary period, he would be increased to 63,000.
yes.
Move the resolution.
Can I have a second? Well, you moved it, so somebody has to second it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Now you have to do a roll call.
Okay. Motion made by Councilman Roderick, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
I am going to respectfully vote no and place on the record that we're voted to represent the residents of this township. And we received the agenda today. We received this resolution this afternoon at 12:30. There was no resume attached. We're being asked in a 5-hour window to make a decision that impacts all the residents of this town. We've done some preliminary research that has raised concerns to me. I've asked for the opportunity to have this vote just put off so that we as a governing body can do our job for the residents of this council. And honestly, I've asked certain questions and no one's really done the due diligence here respectfully that we are obligated to do. And when you do due diligence, you'll have the ability to make a prepared and educated decision, not one that you're being asked in a 5-hour window to make a decision. And I mean no disrespect to Mr. Dykoff, but I have a job to do. I took an oath of office to do it, and in this 5-hour period, I can't endorse this, and I respectfully submit no.
Councilwoman Yurick?
I would echo Councilman Turnbach's sentiment. In addition, I would hope that since the majority has the vote, that as they go forward, that they would provide a modified job description, consider possibly a title change for this position, in that this position that is being discussed and presented, as Councilman Turnbach said, within a 5-hour window, and quite honestly, even less than that, since we even met Mr. Dykoff and saw his resume and heard what his expectations are for the position, that for us to make a decision on the spot is an unfair request. And so, and also in consideration of budgetary concerns, we had discussed even if this position was going to be filled, and that's not even on the table. So again, respectfully, I vote no.
Councilman Kubel?
In closed session, I believe I made
Council Vice President Hill,
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes, and I'd like to say that I understand that the process might not have been perfect, and we have something, I apologize for that if the process wasn't as smooth as you'd like, and I think that we're going to have the administration committee and the two council persons that voted no are going to be on the administration committee with myself, and we'll draft a new job description that has a clearer understanding of what the roles and responsibilities will be for Mr. Dykoff going forward. And part of the problem was there was really not a job description in existence for this position for the prior employee, and that's why there's some difficulty in maybe establishing everything that's responsible for the job. But I can assure you that in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have a job description. I think that'll be rock solid. With that, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.